Hey, good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Myth Eliminator Story series. Are you a bit surprised today? Are you a bit surprised that we happen to have Vicky Helm, the show with us this morning? I literally rang Vic about 10 minutes ago and said, hey, Vic, guess what? We're going live today. And she, of course, said, absolutely, let me at it. I'll be there in 5 minutes. So here we are today. We thought we would do something a little bit special this morning. And instead of having somebody on the show and talking about their story as such, I thought it would be a great idea for us to almost unwrap the stories that we have heard so far over the last couple of weeks. And I think, if I'm right, we're about 13 or 14 stories in. So I'm so blessed and lucky because I have had the opportunity to meet some amazing, inspirational women who have done my God, you know, have been through, some of them have been through the ringer and have come out the other side as strong, beautiful, influential women who are doing all the things that they want to be doing in their life right now. And what was being really interesting, as I've listened to these stories, sometimes as women we feel like we're going through things all on our own and we're the only ones that these particular things are happening to. And this is what I've seen. There are patterns, and I talked about this in the last two Myth Eliminator stories over the last couple of days, that I've started to hear and see patterns. And it's occurred to me that none of us are alone, that often we think that we're all on our own trying to tackle these things in silos and that we're the only one that it's happening to, when in fact, many of it's happening to sometimes at the same time, or they're experiencing the same sorts of things. And what has been apparent is the way in which they have moved through whatever situation they were in. So whatever the Myth was, whatever the challenge was that they were facing, all of them have done particular things that have got them to the point where I'm actually feeling like, you know, I'm being authentic, I'm being myself, I'm feeling like I'm standing in my power, I'm able to stand up, I'm able to stand firm for what I believe in, and now I'm ready to stand out. So I wanted to really just recap those, what my observations, I suppose what I've been hearing, and just kind of summarize those for everybody, because by summarizing them, it's going to help you guys to identify, oh, you know, I'm at this moment in time, this is a Myth. This is not about me. It's just a Myth, and I know how to handle that. So that's kind of what I wanted to take this conversation that Vic and I are going to have with you guys this morning. It's a little bit about her and I chatting about the book, a little bit about maybe some of the Myths that we've had to overcome in our lives, and then obviously answer any questions that you guys have got. So you've got an opportunity now with both of the authors of the book here to answer any questions that you've got. And a couple of weeks in after the launch, most of you guys are now starting to send in these amazing pictures with your book saying, oh my God, and you're starting to read the book, and a lot of you have already gone through the book and are starting to send us through this, you know, I really love this part of the book. We just want to let you guys know that we love, love, love seeing your pictures, and we love hearing the stories, those kind of aha moments, or the moments where the pennies drop as you're reading the books and the book and the stories, and how they are impacting you. That is so, so humbling for us to hear the stories that you are able to overcome and able to kind of almost like rewrite in your own head, because of the fact that you've read the book. So that's kind of where I want to take this. It's a little bit of a loose agenda for this morning, but I just thought it would be nice for the pair of us to show up and say, g'day, hello, kia ora, wherever it is that you're from. You know, I can say it in a few different languages, but hello and welcome, and we just appreciate you guys so much for being here. So Vic, let's take it away. Let's have a little bit of a chat about what have we seen? Like, what are some of the things that you've noticed as we've been listening to these stories?
Well, first off, everybody who's purchased the book, thank you. Thank you very much. And I want to let you know that those women who have bought several of the books and have been giving it to your children, your granddaughters, your daughters, everything that's been going out, I get very choked up. So the first thing I've noticed is that people are saying, yes, I don't want my daughters, my granddaughters, I don't want this to be what they feel or see anymore. So the first thing that I've noticed is women are taking action right now to shift how this she myth starts and all of the self-esteem issues that come with it by giving it to their daughters and their granddaughters right now. Right now, they're like, buck stops here. And that is such an empowering thing to have, to be able to make a change in your granddaughter or daughter's life right now by sharing it with them.
Absolutely. And I just actually want to acknowledge somebody from our group, because this came through yesterday and it brought tears to my eyes that I saw, oh boy, I saw this picture come up and it was like, wow, this is amazing that we can make, you know, that one action that we take or that you can take can make such an impact on the world that young girls are going into. So I want to acknowledge this. I hope you guys can see. Can you see
know.
this?
Yeah, turn it a little. Yeah, that's a little more the other. Turn it to the left a little bit, left a hair. That is, it's brilliant. That's so good. Yeah. And you know what? The smiles on their faces. Yeah, that actually made me tear up as well. Because, you know, when you write a book, you don't expect that. You're just like, here's the book. And is it serving? Do we have it right? Have we said everything we need to say? Or is the deadline to the publisher right? Has it been edited? Where, you know, you don't think when the product goes out, it's going to be impactful to that many places and women and people. The second thing, go ahead.
I'm just going to say, and you know, our intention when we, like, and I think we talked about this right at the beginning of the launch, that we had a target audience, or when you write a book or you're, you know, developing a product, you always have kind of like a target audience. So, you know, it was going to appeal to people between this age and this age. And I'm going to say, put our hand up and say, whoa, man, did we get that wrong? Because we thought it was sort of a 35 to 60-year-old was sort of the sweet spot for this book.
Yes.
So yeah. But in fact, it's just been overwhelming how far and wide this book is reaching, because it's touching the lives of, you know.
Yeah, that picture is from Fiji, isn't it? Is it Fiji?
So Few Chand is in our group, and those are her granddaughters. So she's actually from Fiji, but she's based in Brisbane, Australia. So she shared that with her young, you know, with her two granddaughters, beautiful girls.
Beautiful.
And I want to read the, you know, I responded to it, and I just want to read it because her message from her granddaughters was something like, I'm just trying to find it in the thread, that they were so excited about the books and they were so proud to be holding it. So just the fact that they are like, you know, proud to be holding it, and then to be, you know, consuming the book and be reading it. I just now, you know, you look at that when they're 6, and I know that these young girls are, you know, I think they're like 5 and 6 maybe. I know they've just started school. So that messages, or the messages that they get to read when they're that old, I'm imagining how much impact that can have on them, you know, now, and teach them at that age to know that these myths go on and how to navigate them, what a difference that can make to their life and will make to their life in the future.
Yeah. And the second most important thing that makes us, we're trying to get through this without crying. We promised each other. So one of the second things is that there are amazing, such incredibly talented women that are out there changing the world. And they're moving through these she myths because they don't want to leave this mass difference between equality and gender related issues. And one of the things that I like is there's such multimillionaire women passing it around. There's, I think one CEO bought it for their they bought 10 copies for their office and gave it to every woman in the office at the time and said, you know, everybody's reading this because this ends right now. And I really think that that is super, super empowering to have that kind of effect in the CEO space, where people are now reading the book so the culture of their company can change. And I thought that was extraordinary, just really extraordinary.
That in itself, Vic, is where I know we've talked about sort of this grassroots change.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, we've talked two extremes here, right? There's the young girl, like really at the grassroots, but also the grassroots is at the CEO level. And that CEO who said this book needs to be read by all of our employees here, because this is where the change starts. This is where it stops, and we start to, you know, transform the company. And therefore, the culture of that company will also be transforming. And that, little by little, that's how you start to get real change happening. So thank you very much to that CEO who saw it fit to share that with their entire company. And that is amazing.
Yeah.
I want to talk a little bit about the things that I've seen as I've been, you know, very, very lucky, because I mean, I'm lucky in the sense that I get to, you know, Vic and I wrote the book together, but I get to have these experiences and talk with all these amazing women. So I'm like, I think to myself, I'm so lucky.
Many of them are so incredible, so incredible.
To actually be able to facilitate and have those conversations with them. And the thing is, there's a lot of conversation that goes on the screen, and then there's so much more that goes on off the screen. And I get to, you know people from all over the world, all different backgrounds, all different, you know, nationalities. And it is just such a wonderful experience to have. So the thing is that no matter where they've come from, no matter what their background is, no matter what race, religion, you know, age, we throw all of that out the window, and we just say, look, we're just human beings. We are turning up here to share our stories, to impact somebody else, to make a difference. I'm telling, you know, they're fronting out, they're being authentic, they're being vulnerable and sharing their story, not because they want to share their story, but because they really, truly want to share their story to help impact somebody else, to say, hey, it's okay, I've been there too, and this is how this is how I worked my way out of it. And if you're feeling like that, then you can work your way out of it as well. So some of the words that I have been jotting down over the course of this last couple of weeks have been things like acknowledgement. So forgiveness and gratitude and humbleness and awareness and resilience and action and being brave and being quiet and being the self-work that people are working on themselves. So now that I've rattled off all of those, I want to kind of go through each of them, because I think there's like I said, that there's patterns. And a lot of what I'm hearing is that sometimes we go through our life, and we find, we start out and you get married, or you go into something because you love it at the time. And then over time, you start to fall out of love with that. Because often what I'm hearing is that we go into whatever, when you're starting out and you're young, you're doing things because you're doing it because you think it's the right thing to do. It's because of the outside influences and forces that have spoken to you over the years that this is the right thing to do. But often we don't realize that inwardly, our inner voice, our inner authentic who we are, is actually telling us, or saying, quietly to us, this is where you should be going. This is what you should be doing.
That's right.
And we don't, when we're young,
listen to it.
Listen to it. We're so busy doing stuff. We're doing life that we don't often get an opportunity to think and acknowledge that we need some time for ourselves. We just need to sometimes just sit quietly in a chair, lay in bed just with your eyes shut, and not just clearing our mind, allowing for that quiet, so that we can actually hear ourselves talk. We can actually hear in a voice giving us the guidance that we need. And we shut a lot of that off because we create the noise on the outside. This is something that I've heard, and I know that you and I have, and it took me a long time to twig onto this. So it didn't happen, in my 20s. I got a little bit older. I was like, man, I need to shut out some noise, and that started with switching off the news, switching off the television, not reading bad stuff, making sure that I fill my head with all the right things. So there's a lot of stuff that we get to when we become a little bit older and a little bit wiser, so to speak, and we start to quiet things down. Now, if we're able to get that message through to a younger generation that says, sometimes it's not always great to have all the noise or the social media and all the chatter kind of going on, just taking a moment to be quiet, because that has come up in almost every conversation. Has been, I knew at this time, there was this pivotal moment, I knew at this time that I was unhappy. I knew I had to do something about it. First was like awareness and acknowledgement. And then the next thing they did was sit quiet with, what do I really want? What do I want in my life?
Yes.
And then once they realized that, hang on a minute, I'm going to listen to that inner voice of mine that has given me the guidance that I really need. Now I need to do something with it. Because this is where most people, I think, get, kind of things stop. That's when the fear and the I can't do it, or the judgment, we allow to kind of come
those
back
shoulds and what ifs and everything else pop in.
And we stop ourselves from actually taking action that is required to make the change, and then come with that change comes the transformation that you get. And as I've been talking with women, it's kind of been this very, you break it down, it becomes very simple, but they are, of course, life is complex. Simple to get complex to do, but it's these steps, that awareness, the acknowledgement, the quietness, then the action that we take, and then being brave enough to take that action, being brave enough to say, to acknowledge, this is what I want, I'm on the right path now, I'm continuing to listen to my inner guidance that's telling me the right thing to do, having the courage and being brave to continue to do it. And then when they start coming on the outside, well, in that moment of, now I'm gonna be quiet and I'm gonna do something about it, there's a fundamental shift that I'm hearing happens. And it's them moving from, I'm going to take notice of everything that's going on in my outer world, and I'm now going to start going inward.
Yes, you're absolutely right. Significantly.
Yeah.
Yes.
And every single one of them has said, I started to listen to myself. I started to work on myself. I started to do things that I enjoy, that I actually really didn't just have to do, but I actually really enjoyed doing. They made me happy. They lit me up. They brought me joy. So all of those things I started doing, and started to look inward and started doing work on the inner game, which then started to reflect in the outer game.
Yeah.
These are just some of the observations that I have made in the very short time that we've been doing the She Myth Eliminator series. And every one of them has gone through the same. They might have told their story slightly differently, but the process in which they use to get them to a point where I'm really comfortable, I'm strong, I'm confident in what I do, is the same. And the other small piece it's actually a big piece that I've also seen, is that they have become, they realize that the way that they're going to move through something is become very competent. And with that competence comes confidence.
Yes.
So if you want to increase your confidence, get really good at something, be comfortable enough to be really bad at it. Enough times be bad, until such time as you become really good at it. And then when you become really good at it, you're then confident, your confidence grows, you sort of stand taller, walk with more confidence, and before you know it, you've started to build yourself this coat of armor. And then you're able to move forward constantly with confidence, with competence, being a strong, independent woman that is then able to take on all of the, I'm going to say, advice and information and strategies that are inside of the She Myth book, to be able to implement the discernment that you need to be successful in all areas of your life. Live with prosperity, live with abundance, and live a life that has success, meaning the success that you've created for yourself and your own meaning of success, not the success that is driven by external worlds, by the external forces.
Wow.
That's my observation.
Those are beautiful and powerful things that we did. I want to pull up this comment because I think it's so important. It's just a Facebook user. I'm not quite sure who it is, but the series has been amazing to listen to, the stories that women have shared, the awareness, the insight, the inner knowing, and then taking action to change what they didn't want to continue and limit them. And I also want to say to those women out there, thank you for that. Whomever that was with all the hearts there, thank you. The women that have been writing us personally, those women, I'm not going to name names, who've been telling us that it's changed their life, that they're so thankful this was out, that it absolutely stopped them from hating themselves, realizing that these are myths, they're not true. The more self-acceptance they've had, that just makes my day. Like, I can't even tell you how much that makes my day. And we're going to continue this promotion. Right now, the book's only 99 cents. We are not selling the book at 99 cents because it's going to make us a fortune. It's not. It's 99 cents. And after the Amazon people take their share and my publisher takes their share, and, you know, Tracy and I split that dime at 5 cents each, we want to let you know that we put 5 cents back into getting this She Myth out here, and we are working to create a sense of well-being for women in the future. And I just want to say thanks for having me on today and letting me share this. And we're going to continue. There'll be another time when we're on and share more stories and tell you what's happening with the book and, you know, give you a front row view of what's going on. But everything you do matters. When you buy that book and share it with someone, it matters. Yes, 99 cents takes away all the excuses. Thank you for being there. Yeah. And it's like what you do now matters. Plant a seed, buy that book for 99 cents. It's the ebook that's on sale for 99 cents. You can send it somebody for 99 cents. Plant the seed that changes the way women see themselves in the future.
Absolutely. So, guys, I hope you've nice to see you all. Nice to be actually on here with the amazing Vicky, and we will be back. We will do, every so often we'll do a session like this where it's just Vic and I talking about what we're seeing, really acknowledging every single one of you who has, taken action to buy the book, who has been sharing it with somebody else, because you care, because you actually really care about the way that women are treated, the way in which you want your daughters and your granddaughters to grow up in a vastly different world. We have the power to make that change, but it requires it requires an army of women to do that. It requires us to work together, lift one another up, and just celebrate everything that we are about being the amazing woman that we are, because there are these stories I've heard, they are all amazing. So I also want to extend an invitation. If you have a story that you think you would like to share, and it's if you've watched the series, it's very non-confrontational, it's very friendly, it's just you and me having a chat about life, about where you're going and what you're up to and where you've been. And by doing that, you will be impacting and touching the lives of at least one woman. And that is every time we do one of these, that is our aim, is that we just make a difference to one woman's life. And if we can do that, and we can do that over and over and over again, by the time we've, finished a whole year of these series, then one would hope we have impacted thousands of women's lives. So if you have a story that you would like to share, or you've read the book and you just want to share, the best part of the book that you enjoyed, or maybe something that has made a difference to you, then please reach out to us and I will schedule you to come on to the She Myth Eliminator, and you're able to share your story so that you too can be part of the movement that makes a difference. So please reach out. And I've got another message come up here. This person is, this Facebook user of ours is, what is she saying? She says, he or she.
We do have the power to make the change, and we have to support each other in the change, not push each other down because of fear or lack of confidence. Amen. I think I even know who that's from. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks for being here, guys.
All right, well, thank you very much, everybody. I'm wishing you all a wonderful day. It is Friday for me here in Australia, and as you know, you can see I'm in a motel room still. I will be on the move again tonight, and we're heading up to Bundaberg, which is in the Fraser, it's not on the Fraser coast, but it's sort of like central Queensland of Australia. So I may do a live from a new motel room. I don't know what that's going to be like, but and then next week I'm back to my normal schedule. I'll be back in my lovely office. So I'll see you guys all again next week. Back again, Brisbane time, Monday morning. For some of you in America, that will be Sunday evening with another She Myth Eliminator story. So I want to say big hugs and bye for now. See you guys.